Okay guys, I am going to show you how to make a scatter plot in Google Sheets. I successfully made one. Pretty proud of myself. This is my first time ever using Google Sheets at this level, and you can see it looks pretty good. I think that Google has made some big updates, even since like last year, because being able to do all this on Google Sheets used to be the issue. You didn't used to be able to do all that stuff, and now I think you can because I just did it. So here's my second time making a scatter plot. Bear with me. So the first thing you want to do is highlight all the data. So I'm not going to take the top label with me, just the trial labels and the time label, but I am going to also take all the data. So there's that. And then you go to Insert, Chart, and it automatically picks this line chart for me, but I am going to change that. So let's take a look at how we do that. Okay, so I just scrolled up and I'm under setup. This automatically came up, this chart editor came up for me, like popped up. And under setup, it says line, but I'm going to change it. If you go down, it gives you a bunch of options, and I want a scatter plot. So pick that. And then I can change a lot of things about my chart. So let's take a look at some of the things we can do. So it pulls this label for me, so that one's good. And then let's see what else we need to do. If we go, let's go to customize. I don't want to customize anything there. So here's where I can change my axis titles and my chart title. So let me show you kind of like what it's doing here. It's using this as a chart title, and I don't want that as my chart title. So honestly, I'm just gonna delete it. So I clicked on it. I'm just gonna delete all this. And then now I don't have a chart title, because remember, you're gonna put your title in Word. And then from this menu, it's a drop-down menu, and here's where I can change other things. So I don't need to change my horizontal axis, but I do need to change the vertical axis title because there isn't one. So then here's where I would type that in. I already have this beautiful label ready for you. It says Y-axis label with a unit and uncertainty. So I'm going to put that in. Of course, you'd replace all that with real words according to your lab. And then I don't need to change any of this, but if I wanted to change the color of the font, the type of font, you could change all of that here as well. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to close that now. Series, that allows you to change either one of the lines or all of the lines at the same time. And so one of the things I want, so if you click this, it's a drop down. So if I only wanted to change something about trial 2, I'd click just trial 2, but I kind of don't like how fat the dots are. So I was going to change the dots to 2. It doesn't give me another option. I don't know if you can change it manually. Oh, you can. You can pick whatever you want. So last time I just picked 2 because that's what it gave me, but it looks like you can change it to whatever you think is good, a good size dot. We'll go with that for now. And this is where I can also change the shape of the marker. If I wanted them all to be changed, I would change it here. So I can change them all to triangles, something like that. But if I just wanted to change one, then I would go to like just trial 1, which is my blue trial. I could change the color of trial 1 to any color I want to right now. And then I could change just the shape of trial 1. We'll go with stars. It really gives you a lot more options here than, oh, that's cute. A lot more options than Excel did. So I'm actually pretty impressed with Google today. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to go back to apply to all series, because if you scroll down, this is where you'll be able to actually add in the trend line. So I'm going to add in my trend line. I do want a linear trend line, so I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not going to change the color because it automatically picks the same color as the marker, which I think works good. If you wanted to change the thickness of the line, make it thinner, make it thicker, you can do that here. This is, opacity is like how see-through it is. It'd probably be easier to see if I had a thicker line. I'm just going to make it real thick so you can see. So see how it's like a red see-through line with filled in red dots, like it's like completely opaque for the red dot, but like more transparent, I would say, for the line. So I could change that. If I wanted it to be dark, not transparent at all, I would do that. If I wanted it to be even lighter than it was, I could do that. I'm going to leave it. And actually Excel did have that option too. I just didn't change it in Excel because it used dotted lines, and so I thought that worked nicely. I don't think you can change I don't think you can dash the line here, but that's fine. And then I want to add an equation label. So add the equation, and then I also want to show the r-squared value. So check it out. I have my equation. It has the slope. It just has, the intercept, everything that we would want on an equation. It just doesn't say y equals, but other than that, it looks just like the Excel equation. So I don't see any communication issues here at all. R-squared value is also there. It does not give you the same level of precision that Excel does, but it does display everything on there. Another thing is, okay, so when I first made my other graph in Google Sheets, it didn't actually label these as trial 1, trial 2, it just showed up as dots. So I just clicked on the individual marker, like the actual dot, and it let me add a label then. So like for now, if I wanted to change this, I'll just put all caps so you can see it does change it. I can change that there. You can also change the font, the color, things like that here as well. So we'll just leave that so you can see that's how you would change it. Okay, let's see, what else do we need to do? Oh, I could change the labels here, or the scale also. So let's go back. I'm in customize. Oh, I can move my legend. Let's do that really quick. So it picked automatically to put it over there, but if I wanted my legend on the bottom, I could put it on the bottom. If I wanted it on the top, I could put it on the top, on the inside. That's really weird. Don't do that. Left. Right, so you pick where you want it, wherever you think makes the most sense or looks the best for your graph. I'm going to leave it on the right this time, but again, you decide what works best communication-wise for you. So if I now move to the axes, because we've already done all these other ones, this is where you can change other things about the axis rather than just the title. The title was changed up here, but if I wanted to change other things like the minimum and maximum values, I would do that here. I'm not going to change the horizontal axis because I don't need to. I think it looks fine the way that it is, but I am going to change the vertical axis. So I'm going to go to this one and change it. So let's see. I don't have any points smaller than 500. Let me double check though. I want to just double check my data really quick to make sure that's true. Yeah, 755 is my smallest number. Let's see the biggest number. Um, 2400 something. So I'd say 2500 is good there, but let's go ahead. I'm going to go to edit chart. That's how I get all this back. And I was on customize and we were on the vertical axis. So I am going to change this one, and it looks like I could probably do 700. So let's try that. We'll go a minimum of 700, and then we'll leave the max the way, we'll change it to 500, but That's fine. It looks good like that. We can leave the max as is, or I don't know. I don't think I have to put that in, but oh, that just added more labels. Either way, but it did change. Oh, there, it changed that. So it stretches out your lines though, right? When you do that. So it does make my graph look a bit nicer. I can see each line a lot more clearly. They're not quite as on top of each other. So let's see. I feel like that's it. I didn't need to change anything else. I didn't do anything with the grid lines before. You could play around with it if you want to, but other than that, I feel like we just like really quickly made, whoops, go back, made a beautiful graph. And I almost think it was simpler and faster than using Excel. So now you guys can use this video to help guide you through that process.